Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. The top 5 habits, actions, or lifestyles that will get a young black man found in a tree. Now, the lynching of black people, black men, black women, and children, this is as American as baseball and Chevy. This is what it is. We don't have to do a recap on how terrible lynchings have been in our history. There are thousands of stories. Lynching black people is simply a flex for white supremacists. It's an intimidation tactic. It's a ritual. Throughout our history, lynchings have been used as a way to steal the land, the property, to scare people out of jealousy, to fulfill satanic rituals. Now, lynchings are not a thing of the past. Don't ever let anybody tell you that. They are not. It's just as prevalent in 2026 as they were in 1910 or the 1900s. The difference in lynchings now compared to the 1900s or before that is that we're seeing now in today's times, black people are just handing over the noose to white folks, just giving it to them already wrapped up and everything. Go ahead, put me up there. You know, is this always the story? Are we always handing them the rope? No. You know, there are cases where they just get that off and we don't know why. We seen one in Mississippi recently, Jacoby Lindsay. I'm going to go over that story again, okay? Didn't even have a chance. These white folks had total control of him since he was a child. They did what they wanted to do, and eventually they put Jacoby Lindsay in a tree. Condolences to the family of Jacoby Lindsay. We're going to cover that again, you know? But I noticed in many of these stories here, these lynchings did not have to go down. And there are situations where the black person just was out of it, you know, just mentally detached. So we're going to talk about the 5 acts or habits or lifestyles that will get your young black peoples, young black man put in the tree. In no order at all. And again, your list is just as valid as mine because you know some things. Get in the comments. Number 1, having a white girlfriend, okay? Whatever. This is the number 1 way that gets these young black men put in the tree. Okay, having a white girlfriend, being in an interracial relationship. This makes people feel bad. When they hear this, they go talking about all the young black men that got caught up with a black girl. Oh, well, he was with such and she died. Okay, whatever. Go ahead and talk about that. I'm talking about this right here. Number 1, having a white girlfriend. Black men or young black people in these relationships are typically in love with the white woman. They are under Caucasian European hypnosis, which makes them very vulnerable to be victims of violence from white folks. In many of these situations where the black man is found in a tree, the young black man, or even in water floating or whatever, battered and mutilated, these guys have had white girlfriends. White women have always been used to get a young black man put in a tree. You know, sometimes these white women may start these relationships, you know, with putting you in a tree as the ultimate goal. She's working for the community. She may have to fulfill the rituals for her dad or uncle, her brothers. So they send Emily out there to get one, okay? Go ahead and send Emily out there. He'll fall for her. You know, then you have the young black man. He's so happy and googly-eyed. He's already ran around talking about how black girls are mean and they got attitude, you know? So he'll fall for anything. Can't even think when they get around a white girl. It may be a situation where everybody in that white community knows that you have an execution date coming, but you walking around smiling, looking like an absolute young fool. This girl's dad or brothers or uncles or cousins, they all know. They all know Martavius is going up in that tree on such and such date at this time. Very well orchestrated. Sometimes the white girl doesn't even have a clue. Now, this white girl may even be a nice person to you. She may be nice to you. Your family may like her. She's cool and she likes you, but you don't know her family. And she may not even know her family's own motive. She may not even know. Her dad may be a nice guy with money. He may work for a big anti-aging science company. He may be the CEO. They're doing science and things like that, and they need the spine or the spleen or liver of a young black man to do their research. And he thinks, oh man, dang, Emily, she's got a black boyfriend, Martavius. He's an athletic young black man. He would do good for this experiment. What can we do? The dad's been watching him for a while, you know? He's asking his daughter all kinds of simple questions. Hey, does he use drugs? Does he do this? Baking the cake on you. She doesn't know. She thinks it's simple questions. She's answering, and boom, they just wait. They wait for your mom and dad to pass away or something, for you to lose your job, for you to get cut from the team, so that now they have a backstory to say, oh, he was depressed because of this. He was stressed out. Now you up in the tree, hanging from a backyard, deck, lower level, whatever, tree, whatever, done. And then they're like, oh, it's because he was stressed out. You know, he was depressed because of what happened to his mom. He just got fired from his job, or he just got cut from the team. It's just that stupid. That's what's going on. So check, here's the kicker though. That white girlfriend, even if she didn't know at first, and she finds out that her dad or her uncle or her brothers, they did this to you, she'll never go against the grain. She's never going to speak up and say, oh, they did this, because white people are different. They get rid of their own daughter if she go against the grain. They do not play. Bottom line here, young black men, mainly the young ones with a white girlfriend, are the easiest to put in the tree. The next one, number 2, that'll get you put in the tree, young black man, using drugs and alcohol, lack of sobriety around white folks, straight up. This is probably one of the biggest cofactors in these categories because, you know, he usually falls in all of these categories. You know what I mean? This right here is usually with every one of them. Sometimes it's all 5, you know what I mean? But in these days and times, very dangerous. Everybody needs to be on point. No time to be under the influence of anything, anywhere. It doesn't matter who you're around. I don't even care if you're around all black people. No time to be under the influence of anything, anywhere. You out in public and you in places and spaces where you are not in full control, where you could lock a door, you got all the keys. I'm talking your house and all that. Around white people makes it 10 times more dangerous. White folks prey on young black people who are under the influence of drugs, alcohol, because it's easier to get you in any position. You know what I mean? It's easier to get you on a boat, get you in that water or whatever, get you up in that tree. You may want to drink and get drunk. You know, people will put something in your drink while you're having a good time. You know, actually, white supremacists have been known to do this. Put something in the black person's drink at a place that they may frequent, you know, get you all inebriated. Oh, Martavius, he always comes to Lucky's Pub on Wednesday and gets blasted. He gets hammered. You know, you got white people sitting back. They're going to put this in your drink so that you can go nuts. Lack of sobriety, get you in a tree, man. People, believe it or not, many of these cases where they found a young black man in a tree or somewhere on a boat, lynched, blown up, full of water, drugs or alcohol were involved. Not all, but most. I'm just giving the truth here. Then they want to find out what happened, right? They called a white coroner in. Oh, he had drug XYZ in his system. That's why it happened. When this black man right here was only known to drink a little bit, maybe smoke weed or something like that, never took this drug called methabenzocatenine hydropalox, some old crazy name, a drug that they say makes people go nuts. This young black man never took that drug before. People know, oh no, he just drinking low, he smoked weed or whatever, that's it. But that's in the system. They don't know why they put it in there. It's really in the system. He was on that. That's why he hung himself, they'll say. On to the next one. Number 3 act or habit, lifestyle, that'll get your young black peoples put in a tree. Get a young black man put in a tree right here. Detaching yourself from your people completely. Some of these young Negroes just love being the hootie of the blowfish. Token Negro, they love it, you know. Sometimes black people are raised like this due to their parents' decisions. And I know they need a social life. You know, there are young people who actually have no choice. I get it. I've seen it. I've seen young black people who may have no other outlet than white people because of the situation or the circumstance that their parents put them in, and they can't do anything. But when they come of age, when you come of age, you got to know what's going on and start to think like a real person. Read, study, take the time to know what things are for what they are. Don't be in denial. Do not make excuses for racists. White people who have evil motives often find black people who are detached from their culture. These are the easiest black people to find, like a magnet to metal. You know, this may be a young black person who has like a super ghetto ignorant family, you know, somewhere. Sometimes it happens. And they're like, oh, I got to get away from them. And they think that being in Caucasia is just the best thing ever. Nah, you easy to get. You're around some people who are more dangerous and they're going to get away with it. Sometimes we see that with a lot of young black people. They go, oh, my family, this, and that. But they think they can go over there and everything over there is cool and acceptable. Nah, that ain't how it go. You are the easiest to get because you over there worshiping them people. That's what you over there doing. You know, and you're letting things slide that you would never let slide with your black family who you detach from. And white people usually know that they can bully you, you know, and they know that there'll be no repercussions for anything they do with you because you over there running your mouth, talking about your family and your people and what's going on and how your mom always yelling and all this other stuff, you know, and they know that they can use black people as a flex tool to air out their racist frustrations. Most of the times when you have white folks calling a black person, a young black man, oh, he's a great guy, he's a class act, it's because they can bully him and they use him as a flunky. They get mad at something they see on TV, the NFL, NBA draft, Al Sharpton, whatever. They want to tell their N-word jokes. They go ahead and get Caden. He accepted that role. These are black folks that white people like to test their N-word jokes on, the ones who detach themselves from their culture completely. They just want to be out there with white people. They think this is the way. Easy. Okay? And usually, the only reason why they keep these young black men around is just as a flex tool, usually. I know it's a hard pill to swallow because a lot of people may be thinking about their young people, the young black men in their family or whatever, the position that he's in. Yeah, he's a flunky. I mean, unless he out here with these white people. Seriously, if he's a young black man and unless he's with these white people and you don't see him showing up with new stuff every day, you know, watches and new shoes and where you get that? Where you get that? Oh yeah, such and such, they got it for me. If you don't see that, he's a flunky. They doing everything they want to do with him. Black people who are detached from their culture are the easiest to put in the tree also. And we also know that usually comes with the Emily girlfriend and all that, you know, drugs and all that too, depending on where they are in life. You know how it goes, people. Number 4, act, habit, or lifestyle that will get your young black relative, young black man put in a tree, joining predominantly white clubs or organizations. Sometimes our people think this is a flex. Oh, I'm the first black one. Not a flex. Oh, I'm the first in this historically white club. Not a flex. It can be very dangerous. You have no idea whether or not they brought you in just to fulfill a ritual. And it's been done. They'll let you sit around, party, drink, go to events, take happy pictures with your mouth wide open, even let you get with the white girls. While you're the only fool that doesn't know that on such and such day, they'll be taking you out. They're just watching your moves, your habits, what you like to drink. Oh, you like to do this, he like to do that. Oh, talking about your family, this is, oh, my dad, this and that, my mom, and telling them your business. You how Negro, you know how they be shine boning when they get around whitey. You think you're pouring out your little Negro heart to them. You got this new group of white brothers you think they are, they taking it all in. Great candidate for the rope. They thinking like, oh, they calling the headquarters. They calling the old guys in the headquarters. Hey, we got such and such here. Brandon, yeah, he said this. Yeah. We seen that with the young brother Gregory Johnson at San Jose State. Condolences to his family. His mom is out here stressed out. He joined this Sigma Chi, whatever, one of the ones. They found him in the basement of the frat house. 6'2", 215-pound Division I wrestler. Strong boy. Got him down there. Sad story. Okay? Sad story, but this is what they can do. They have him in the basement somewhere where he's too tall to even hang. They know that, come on, man. Come on, man. But the thing is, Many of these guys, they don't know that they're only letting this club or this group to fulfill a ritual, and they're going to get you. I know this sounds radical and extreme, but these stories are real. They're out there. It's a lot of them. Check them out. These young black men who think they're cool because they joined a little white group, easy to put in a tree. Number 5, act or habit that will get a young black man put in a tree somewhere. Going to house parties, bonfires, boat trips, vacations, hiking, mountain climbing, whatever, with white people. Events where you're the only black person there. We've seen this numerous times. You're out somewhere, you don't know where you're at. You can't get home unless you go home with one of them. You're in a different country, maybe like Bakari Henderson, I don't know. They have the numbers, and all it takes is for one of them to have to fulfill their sinister desire to hurt a black person. Seen it many times. We can go on and on. Alonzo Brooks, Tamla Horsford, I mean, Bakari Henderson, Elijah Nikki Witherspoon on the boat, Everett Jackson, he goes to see his white girlfriend and her Mormon girlfriend in Idaho. You know, he's drowning. You know, most of these people fall into various categories, by the way. It's not one. They always fall into 2, maybe 5, you know, maybe 5. Lack of sobriety, whatever. Here's the thing what a lot of people may not know. When you see these young black people go out with these white folks to these different events and stuff, you don't know how your young black son, daughter, nephew, grandson, whatever, you don't know how they act around white people. You may know them, you know what I mean? But you don't know how that self-esteem just turns into nothing around white people. So they go into these situations thinking that they gotta be or fulfill the person that white people think they are or want them to be. Oh, he's tied from the hood. He's a tough guy. He may not even be that. He may not even be that, man. So your black son, he's out around these white folks trying to prove he's a tough guy from the hood. He want to be the one to step up, get skin all kicked off his forehead or even killed. You never know. Trying to impress these white people on a boat, at a bonfire, at a party. Many of our people get around these white folks and just feel like they got to be the life of the party. You know, they want to show white people that they can dance because white people expect them to do that. They probably can't even dance on some Tamla Horsford type stuff. I mean, low self-esteem, trying to prove yourself to whitey. It's a very stressful job, man. They get them out there on a boat or a bonfire. And here's the deal. When they do it, when something happens, all these white people stick together. If you rode out there in the car with them, you cannot come up with one story where white people broke Pel Voltron to give justice to a black person's family who was lynched by these people. It's not going down. But people, we keep putting ourselves in these positions, handing these white people the noose. You know, what do? Gotta respect the history. Accept things for what they are. Be proactive. Remain vigilant. Stop thinking that you're safe around whitey. Use the same proactive mindset and vigilance that you do in the hood. If you got to walk through the projects or go to a gas station, store, whatever, use that around white people too. You'll be all right. The same way you are around black people. Use that with them too. You'll be all right. You know what I mean? But when these things happen, and hopefully they won't, nobody's going to be able to do anything. They have your poor mom crying and pleading like Gregory Johnson. She's at San Jose State with a bullhorn, yelling, you know what I mean? Because she know what these people did. There will be no Ben Crump coming, none of that. Forget all that, okay? But people, if I had to add a 6th one to this, it would be publicly berating or dissing your own black people just to appease whitey. I don't know what it is, people, but there's something with the energy that these Negroes put out who like to go on and diss black people, speak, talking about black women and all this other stuff on social media. You know what I mean? Christian Toby, Jonathan Price. Yeah, we talked about all of them. Lauren Smith Fields on a woman's end. We can go into that, you know, and more. I mean, so many. They all got blown away by whitey. Thelbo Rackins, whatever his name is. The white girl just blew him away. She got off. Everybody got off in these stories, though, by the way. Even Christian Toby, that girl got off. She got off. You know what I mean? You on social media, dogging black people. It's some kind of gloom energy that these people create for themselves. You're going to get it. You know what I mean? So people, it is what it is, man. Do what you want with your life, but this is what goes down. This is the real life, too, that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to happen to you just because you want to go kiss a snow bunny and all that. I don't want that to happen to you, but they're going to make it happen to you probably because usually, to be honest, y'all, just think about it. Most young black men who are in these positions ain't in their right mind in the first place. It is what it is. And it's always different for a young black man and a young black woman. That's why I made the video about the young black women and the young black men, because it's different. The outcome, the social life is different when dealing with white people. There are many more opportunities for a young black man, a teenager or whatever, to have encounters with whitey due to sports and being cool, so-called, and things like that. But in everyday real life, social life, young black women typically do not befriend or like young white women and vice versa. It's like no reason for them to even have a connection usually. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. What you see though is you see these young black women who may be bamboozled following some old miserable burnout older black women who wish they can be them, creating platforms about going and chasing a white man and all that. You see them getting tore up. You know what I mean? But you don't see them really going out with young black white girls and all of them white. It does happen. But when it comes to the violence and stuff, you see white men tearing them up. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. But so black men is different because young black men get it from different angles. They get it from the snow bunnies. They get it from the white dudes for sports and the party and they're trying to be cool, the trauma bonds, all that. You know, they get it from everywhere. So it's different, same outcome. People get in the comments, let me know what you think or know about this. Link to the masterpiece, The N-Word Is No Secret, in the service in the description. Also, holla at that email list, easy.